This is Project Command, and you're listening to Flashpoints, quick, sharp hits that turn big project management concepts into everyday tools for the fire service. I'm Lieutenant Duke Cuneo, and I'll be your host. Today's Flashpoint: AI velocity is accelerating rapidly. If you think you understand AI because you used it 6 months ago, you don't. Not anymore. Over the last few weeks, the capability curve hasn't just improved, it's been upward sharply. New large language models from multiple providers are showing reasoning quality and context understanding that was frankly unthinkable a year ago. These systems aren't just drafting memos, they're analyzing long documents, comparing policies, simulating scenarios, and generating structured executive briefs in seconds. Some thought this would take years. Instead, it's happening in weeks. That's exactly the alarm raised in Matt Schumer's viral essay, Something Big is Happening, which has now surpassed tens of millions of views online and sparked widespread discussion about how quickly AI is advancing. Schumer argues that we're in a moment much like early 2020 before COVID was widely recognized, a period where the change feels slow, but really the exponential is already underway. He's not talking about chatbots. He's talking about tools that are capable of quickly doing work that used to take trained professionals weeks, right now. And here's something that should really make you pause. AI is now being used to help train and improve future AI systems. These models are generating synthetic data, testing reasoning pathways, evaluating outputs, and accelerating their own developmental cycles under human supervision. In other words, the tools are being used to help build the next generation of tools. That compresses timelines even further. Improvement isn't just coming from more engineers typing faster. It's coming from systems that are helping refine the very architectures that replace them. That's velocity stacked on velocity. Now let's bring this back to your career. The practical implication for fire administrators is profound, because if your job is screen work, reading, writing, analyzing, communicating, that work is already being augmented and in some cases reimagined by AI today, and it's getting better every week. Most fire officers still use AI as a smarter search engine. They tidy up grammar, reorganize bullet points, summarize a document. That was version 1. What's happening now is version 2, AI as operational leverage. You can drop a 20-page staffing proposal into a model and have it identify risk exposure, compliance gaps, and organizational friction points. You can simulate executive objections before you walk into a room. You can generate multiple schedule models and have trade-offs clearly articulated. You can turn raw notes into a structured, board-ready brief in minutes, not days. That doesn't replace leadership, it amplifies preparation. And here is where it gets real. In the near future, proficiency with AI may itself become a leadership differentiator, not peripheral, central. Imagine assessment centers that include scenarios like this. Instead of only asking you to present your plan to reduce overtime, they ask you to use available AI tools to construct a prompt that generates an initial solution, then refine and critique that output. That's not about testing whether you can use the latest widget. It's about judgment, framing the problem correctly, writing an effective prompt, spotting weak assumptions, and refining AI output into something authoritative and defensible with human oversight. That's the kind of cognitive agility we already test with presentations and case questions. But now it could include how you collaborate with AI as part of your success. Think about that. Not who has the best slides, but who can thoughtfully direct an AI, critically evaluate what it produces, and integrate it with real-world judgment. That's the new arc of high-leverage work. And it aligns with Schumer's core point. If you're not seriously experimenting with these tools, you're underestimating what they can already do and what they will be able to do soon. Now, don't misunderstand. There are debates about timelines and hype. Some analysts caution that expectations outpace current capabilities in certain domains, and models still make mistakes that require human oversight. Others argue that the excitement sometimes oversells what exists today. But even the critics agree on one thing. AI is rapidly becoming a productivity multiplier across industries. And departments that redesign how administrative workflows around these tools will have a real strategic advantage. There isn't just one model anymore. The newest version of Claude from Anthropic, for example, has shown exceptional strength in long document reasoning, policy comparison, and structured synthesis. It handles complex administrative material with impressive logical consistency. If you're doing gap analysis between local policy and NFPA standards, or reviewing compliance language, or synthesizing dense regulatory content, Claude is a serious tool in that workflow. It's measured, it's structured, it's strong at untangling complexity. Models like ChatGPT excel at rapid iteration, strategic exploration, brainstorming, creative reframing, and multi-step reasoning in a conventional flow. They're flexible, they're fast, powerful for scenario testing, and refining narrative direction. Used together, they become a force multiplier. You wouldn't respond to a working structure fire with only one type of apparatus. You bring the right resources for the problem set. Administrative leadership is moving the same direction. The most effective officers will not pledge loyalty to one platform. They'll understand the strengths of each and deploy them deliberately. Let's be real. There is no risk that AI is going to replace fire officers. The real risk is officers who don't learn to use it becoming less efficient and less competitive in promotion cycles, planning cycles, and strategic decision context. Today's flashpoint is simple. AI velocity is becoming a leadership differentiator. It's not about whether AI will matter in your career. It's about whether you'll be the officer who knows how to wield it, understanding its strengths, its limitations, and how to integrate it with sound judgment. Make no mistake, the fire service has always evolved with technology. What made leaders stand out in the past wasn't just learning the new tool, it was learning how to apply it first. AI is no different. The future chief may not be the best presenter in the room, but the one who knows how to orchestrate intelligence faster than anyone else. Once again, I'm Lieutenant Duke Cuneo, and this has been Project Command Flashpoints. If today's episode gave you something to think about, please consider liking, sharing, or subscribing wherever you get your podcasts. You can continue the conversation on LinkedIn, where Captain Peter Eunice and I share additional insights, breakdowns, and behind-the-scenes work connected to these episodes. For video versions, extended discussions, and upcoming interview content, check out the Project Command channel on YouTube. Questions, comments, or ideas about future episodes, you can still reach us at projectcommandpodcast@gmail.com. That's projectcommandpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening.